how did I get into mindfulness? I actually discovered mindfulness and meditation upon healing from chronic illness. In 1998, I was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease. I had lots of symptoms, including chronic fatigue. I had depression, anxiety. I had brain fog, where it's like you couldn't think straight. I had neurological issues. I had lots of other symptoms. When Western medicine wasn't working for me, I switched over to an alternative therapy. Lots of alternative therapies, mainly holistic, dealing with the mind and body. One of my life-changing therapies was releasing past emotional trauma and negative thought patterns and replacing them with patterns of love, self-care, forgiveness, gratitude, and joy. When this started to happen, I started to notice my thoughts. I noticed that when my thoughts went into the past, I was depressed. I was very angry. I was fixated on things and conversations that happened in the past that I wanted desperately to correct, and I couldn't do it because it happened already. And then I also noticed when my thoughts went into the future, I was extremely anxious. I was loaded with fear, especially fear of the unknown, fear of death. And again, I was either also fixated on making up stories about conversations that I would have with someone. And again, this never happened. I was making it up. I also noticed my thoughts were wandering. They would go from past to future, future to past, and also on limitations, on not being enough. I don't have enough this, I don't have enough time. But then I had moments where, remember, I was still recovering. I had moments where I felt really good. I had a wonderful sense of well-being. And those were the moments in which I was teaching, especially students that were enthusiastic and motivated and loved to play and loved to be at the lesson. And I loved to teach them. And then also when I was improvising on the piano. And I had been improvising ever since I was a young teenage girl. Loved to improvise in between playing those serious classical pieces. So that was like a respite for me. I loved to just relax and play whatever on the piano. Another time I felt really, really good was when I was in nature. And it didn't have to be a walk in the woods. I actually became an avid hiker as a result. But it could be just in my backyard, looking up at the beautiful blue sky, at the clouds, at the trees. And then also when I was at the beach, I felt a wonderful connection to being at the beach, being on the sand, listening to the water. And I said, I need to do this a lot. I need to be in this moment a lot, as much as I possibly can. I didn't realize at the time that this was being in the present moment. I was connecting to my heart. And that is what led me to mindfulness and meditation.